Hello, I'm Kim Simpson. I'm the chairperson of the Señora Trust, and here we are in Newhaven, almost the opposite end of the country from where this boat is going to be restored to her former glory. I'd like to come through this way. As you can see, this is the 1908 motor sailor Señora. This boat is a classic of her kind. She was designed by the famous yacht designer Alfred Milne, who's one of the greatest yacht designers this country has ever known. She was built in 1908 on the Isle of Bute by Archibald Malcolm in his Bannatyne boatyard. She's made of larch on oak frames. She's 50 foot from stem to stern and only 10'6" in the beam. And the reason for that was she was built for speed. She is a boat that will sail, although she doesn't have any sails at the moment, but she was also built for motoring. She used to be known as the E-type Jag of the Western Isles. So her condition is remarkably good for a lady who's 107 years old. She's obviously got a fair bit of rust on her keel, but unlike many boats of this age, her restoration is going to use 90% of the original timbers. She needs a complete redeck. She needs these timbers rubbed down and inspected and all the rotten ones replaced. She needs every frame looked at with care, all her copper fastenings examined. She needs her keel bolts examined and possibly replaced. Okay, so you've seen the hull. Let's go and look up top. So carefully as we go. As you can see, it's the sort of climb you have to watch where you do with your feet. As I mentioned before, you can see rot here in the deck, so all of this deck needs to be replaced. Let's go down and look at her aft cabin. And although as I go down you'll see that most of the interior has been disassembled, you'll also see the quality of her original timbers, which are simply waiting to be restored by our trainees. Well, as you can see, the interior is completely filled with the disassembled mahogany fittings that I referred to earlier. So this is the saloon area and forward cabin of Señora. As you can see, the bulkheads have all been taken out. This was part of the start of a restoration which wasn't completed. But what you can also see is the quality of some of this wood. This is some of the work that was done in the 70s and 80s in particular, restoring the quality of interior that would have been characteristic of her back in her heyday. She was built as a gentleman's pleasure yacht, and the fitments are to that standard. As you can see, beautiful heavy mahogany, solid brass fitments. This is part of a secretaire, I think. But there is a problem. This boat has been sitting in this boatyard for many years, and it's time that she has to move. The boatyard owner needs the space. And if we can't raise £10,000 within the period by the end of March, then she's going to be broken up. The Señora Trust wants you to help, and here's how you can do it.